Hey everybody, welcome to something I haven't done for a couple weeks now, and that is my Raw review for last night's Monday Night Raw. Now, last night's Monday Night Raw was, to me it was a decent show. I mean, a lot of people have said that. I'm sure a lot of people will have negative things to say about it. But overall, though, it was pretty good. So let's get into it, shall we? We start off, first of all, with R-Truth in the merchandise stands. Now, before I get into this, people said there was technical difficulties. Well, if you read online here on the West Coast, we didn't have those technical difficulties unless you were watching it live on HD. Go figure. But anyway, we start off with R-Truth in the merchandise stand, and basically is tearing the whole place up. He's throwing around the DVDs of Legendary. He's tearing down the t-shirts. He's even shocked that Zack Ryder's got a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So he basically is going crazy. But everything being Cena, and Cena this, Cena that. He's even saying, hey, the only way you can find me is in a program. Oh, and look who's on the cover. So anyway, he's just tearing up everything. He goes past a soda stand, and he sees the pictures of John Cena on there. And then he ends up, basically just making his way down to the arena. So, anyway, he gets down to the arena. He's coming down through the crowd. And he stops and confronts a family. Now, I don't know if this family was planted, or if this was an actual family. We don't really know. It might have been an actual family, so I don't know. But he basically gets in the kid's face, he gets in the father's face, and then he heads to the ring. So, after the father asks him, what's up? So, he heads to the ring, and then John Cena's music hits, finally. And John Cena comes out and confronts him. So John Cena comes out and confronts him. They have a little exchange where John Cena says he agrees with everybody that R-Truth should be in a straitjacket, and that he'll give R-Truth what he wants, and that's one-on-one. And that's basically what R-Truth wants, right? So anyway, the GM chimes in and says, fine. Our main event tonight will be R-Truth versus John Cena. Okay. So R-Truth, John Cena is set for tonight, is set for the main event on Raw. And so our first match, though, if I am correct, I'm trying to make sure I am correct on this. I have my iPod with me. The first match we have is Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston in a non-title matchup. Basically we have Dolph Ziggler going up against the United States champion Kofi Kingston in what was one of the better matches this year on Raw. Back and forth, counter for counter. And Dolph Ziggler ends up beating the United States champion Kofi Kingston with the zigzag after he blocks a second attempt by Kofi blocks Kofi's second attempt of the SOS, and then he hits Kofi with the zigzag to get the win. So what does that tell me? Well, it tells me, just like they did on SmackDown, they're going to do on Raw, and that is get Dolph Ziggler probably on top of the US division as the United States champion. So very soon, eventually, either maybe give him maybe 1 or 2 months, maybe upcoming a Capital Punishment, I don't know, maybe even on Raw, but expect Dolph Ziggler to become the United States champion, which means apparently this would be the stepping stone to him to get into the WWE Championship main event. So, yeah, Dolph Ziggler, expect him to wear this belt real soon because he beat the US champion Kofi Kingston, and we all know that when a superstar beats the champion in non-title in a storyline, they automatically get a match for the championship. So yeah, Kofi Kingston will be defending this title very soon against Dolph Ziggler. And again, I don't know if it's going to be on Raw, a Capital Punishment, or whenever, but expect Dolph Ziggler to hold this championship real soon. Expect it, folks. Right here. So, anyway, after that, we have a Alberto Del Rio promo on what happened to the Big Show. And basically says business is business. And then he hopes Big Show gets well. And that Ricardo will be sending him the bill for the damage to his car. So it looks like they're setting up Big Show and Del Rio for the near future, possibly for capital punishment. Next we have a Divas tag team match. It's the Bellas, Nikki and Divas champion Brie against Eve and Kelly Kelly. Some people have a problem with this match. I thought it was okay. It wasn't the best, but I thought it was okay. And Kelly Kelly and Eve get the win. And there you go. Kelly Kelly actually, I don't know if she pinned Brie or Nikki, but apparently she gets the win. It looks like they're trying to push Kelly towards the Divas title finally, so we'll see what happens. Next up we get an interview between Michael Cole and Alex Riley. Michael Cole, basically being the misfit fan that he is, comes out and basically berates Alex for what he did to the Miz, even going as far as calling him a bastard, which irates Alex Riley to the point that he almost beats down on Michael Cole, except for the Miz comes in and saves Michael and starts beating down on Alex Riley, and then Alex Riley makes a comeback and starts tossing Miz all over the place just like he did the week before. So, yeah, Alex Riley basically again got the better of the Miz, and it looks like they're building towards Riley and the Miz are at capital punishment. But what's ironic about this, folks? What's ironic about this is, didn't Alex Riley a month ago or so get drafted to SmackDown, yet now he's on Raw? Because apparently the Raw GM has signed him. So we'll see what happens. So I guess they decided not to put him on SmackDown, but put him on Raw since he's got that storyline with The Miz. Go figure. So after that, we have Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk in another good matchup of the night. Back and forth action. Definitely showing you why the feud last year was one of the best feuds of the year. And, last year I would say, was one of the best feuds of the year. Back and forth action, just a great, as some people say, a great wrestling match, if you will. Entertaining match. And CM Punk does get the win. CM Punk does get the win over Rey Mysterio. Not with the GTS, but what I like to call GTS version 2. Basically a sidekick right to the head. Which is kind of ironic. Why all of a sudden instead of using the knee deal, they're using the kick deal. Why are they using that? Why are they using that? It tells me that maybe that they might try to say that shoe might be loaded. So we'll find out. Maybe doing a little homage to Iron Sheik. Who knows? But anyway, decent match. Decent match, and again CM Punk gets the win. So it looks like they're trying to renew that rivalry. Now, next up we finally get Karma, Awesome Karma, speaking for the first time and on what occurred the week before with a breakdown and what is going on. Now, this person here that's done the report about it is asking the question if she ever spoke on television before WWE. Yes, she did. Check out YouTube. She has spoken on there when she was part of the NWA. She was the women's champion. She spoke briefly at times on Impact, where she would just say, I think she said to one of the knockouts one time, "Good girl, dead girl." Something like that. That's all she said. But last night, WWE allowed her to finally speak the way we know she could speak. And she cut a decent work-shoot promo, if you will, on her whole situation. Basically, what I mean by work shoot, it was half shoot, half work. Now, what surprises a lot of people is during her promo, she says the word wrestling and wrestler, which a lot of people feel might hurt her. But then again, if that was the case, WWE would have bleeped that out. But this is what tells me that WWE and Vince McMahon are so high on her, because if they weren't so high on Karma, they would have bleeped out what she said about wrestling and wrestler. But they didn't. They let her go on. They let her say it, because that's how much they value her. So anyway, she goes on to say how she, what she went through to get to WWE. She even said things about competing in the dankiest, stank places of the world. I wonder if she's referring to TNA, maybe. But anyway, she basically says that was her goal, to be a wrestler, be in the WWE. But she also mentions that just like any other woman in the arena that night and watching at home, that she also wants to be a mother. And that's currently right now what she's going through, because she is with child. So she can't physically do anything in the ring as much as she wants to. Now, I said this was a work shoot promo, and what I mean by work shoot, like I said, work, part of it was shoot, but the other was work, because out came the Bellas, or as I like to call them, Lay Cool version 2. That's right, Lay Cool version 2. Or Lay Cool 2.0. Out comes the Bellas, or as I put it, Lay Cool 2.0. They berate her, and she tries to go after them, but then realizes they berate her, they insult her, basically about the fact that she's fat, that whoever got with her had to be drunk or something like that. They insult the baby a little bit. And then, what else? Oh yeah, she tries, and they also insult the fact that she can't do anything about it, but she does try to go after them, but then realizes, hey, I'm going to hold up, and then she tells them, I hope you two are still around when I come back, because I have a new dream now. And basically, you can almost see a little bit of concern after she says that, and she's walking up the ramp staring at them, almost a bit of concern on the Bellas, like, oh shit, what did we just do? What did we just do? So, basically what that's saying is, when she comes back, the Bellas are toast. And I don't know if they're going to end up keeping the belt on Brie or Nikki, up until then. I don't think so. I'm thinking, honestly, what they're going to do with Karma and the Bella deal is they're going to have Karma's music play throughout some of the matches, maybe kind of distract them, and then cost them some matches. Maybe not. I'm not really sure. But you never know. You never know with WWE. They've done it before. They did it before. So, but yeah, Karma basically does speak for the first time, and Manny said gave a good, decent work shoot promo. And overall, my thoughts about it. Well, I have to say, this is what I thought. I thought it was good. Honestly, I thought her promo was pretty good. I mean, again, I know some people may have a problem with the fact that she was speaking. Some people, like Dehausen, part of the wrestling revolution, may say that Karma's been ruined. Look, folks, let's face facts. What you're getting is what you got in TNA and in Ring of Honor and all the indies. You're still getting that. The only thing is, when WWE brings in somebody like Karma, and they have proven this in the past, anytime they bring somebody like her in, at times they'll bring them in first, non-speaking, kind of silent but violent kind of deal, but then they slowly let them progress. They let them speak. In Karma, in this case, she probably would have liked staying silent, but realized that she had to address it, and guess what? WWE let her address it. They let her be herself. I mean, look, they did the same with China. China, for about 2 years, a year and a half, never really spoke that much, and then finally she speaks at the right time. Yeah, it took a little longer, but she finally spoke. But here's the deal. She finally spoke, right? I don't know if it took a year or a couple months, I don't know. But she spoke. So here's the thing. here's the thing. It's not the first time that someone that you would look at and think, oh, they're better off being silent but deadly, ended up becoming more than that. And this is part of evolving her character, making her character even more. Okay? So, to me, what they did with Karma last night, yeah, many feel they may have devalued her, they may have tamed her, but all they did was evolve her. They expanded her personality, whether you like it or not. Because honestly, if, Karma wanted to, she could have said, no, I don't want to speak, I just want to be silent, just let me walk out television. She didn't do that. Karma said, fine, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to speak. And again, if they would have not been so high on her, they would have banned some of the words she said. They would have bleeped out wrestling and wrestler. But they didn't. They didn't. So, to me, I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. I thought it was not okay, but I thought it was good. I thought it was one of the better Diva promos out there. And it just shows you how high up the WWE is about her. So, go figure. Alright, next match we had, I believe, was Evan Bourne and Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger and Evan Bourne. Jack Swagger dominated most of the match, but in the end, Evan Bourne rolled him up, not an airborne shooting star, but rolled him up, put a roll up on him, 1, 2, 3, got the win over Jack Swagger. Which tells me if they're willing to put Evan Bourne like that over Jack Swagger, maybe they got plans for Evan now. Maybe they finally figured something out. So yeah, Evan Bourne went over Jack Swagger, which I thought was pretty good. But even though Jack dominated most of the match, maybe they're going to start doing something with Evan, maybe to where he gets dominated most of the match and then pulls out the win. Who knows? And then we get our main event, which is R-Truth and John Cena. Now everybody says this was an entertaining main event, one of the best main events, entertaining-wise, that they'd ever seen on Raw, because R-Truth basically did old school. He went out, berated the fans, frustrated John Cena to the point that John Cena finally followed him out to that family that he bothered earlier at the beginning of the show, to that same family, to the point that John Cena came and basically got to him, but R-Truth was able to punch him in the face and beat him back into the ring before the count reached 10, and thus John Cena got counted out of the match. And R-Truth basically goes back through the crowd, goes up to that same family at the end, and drinks a little bit of the kid's soda, and then spits it in the father's face. Then John Cena comes to the aid, and there you go, that's the end of the show. He ends up giving his wristband to the father. So, again, decent ending to Monday Night Raw. Again, overall, I have to say that Monday Night Raw last night was good. It was very entertaining. Some will say it's surreal. Yeah, it was surreal, especially with Karma. But again, like I said, WWE, what they're doing with Karma is they're building her up. They're evolving her. You can't just expect a company to take somebody in and keep them the same way you saw them before. Okay? I mean, look. They're putting R-Truth in the WWE title match at Capital Punishment from what we understand. Now, the heel R-Truth that we're seeing here is a lot different than the heel R-Truth that we saw in TNA. He wasn't as psychotic. He wasn't as over the edge. It's a different R-Truth. Okay? So him getting a shot at this at Capital Punishment, that's a good thing. But anyway, like I said, decent Raw, very surreal Raw, but again, like I said with Karma, it's very different. You see, again, like I was mentioning, and the reason I brought up R-Truth is because you can't expect somebody to stay the same as you'd seen them before. You gotta let them evolve, you gotta let them expand. And honestly, TNA never let Karma, as Awesome Kong, expand. They never let her evolve. WWE's letting her do that. And you know what, if they're going to leave open a feud with the Bella Twins for a whole year, if they're going to leave that open, that tells you that they have plans for Karma coming up next year, to the point that they have faith in her, they have enough faith in her and belief in her that she's going to rebuild that Divas division. So again, some may have not liked the fact that she spoke last night. Some did. Some may have said it's surreal. To me, it's about evolving and expanding that character and making them more than what they are. Letting them be who they are in the ring, competitive-wise, as everybody knows, but letting them be what they can be, and even more so. And honestly, that wasn't just Karma speaking in that work shoe promo. That was Kaya. I think that's her name, Kaya. That was her speaking. So yeah, it's all about evolution, folks. That's what it was about last night with Karma. Maybe it was a little too soon, I will admit that, but you know what? Sometimes sooner is better, and sometimes it's not. In this case, I think it was. So, overall, I have to say Raw was pretty good. I'm going to give it, honestly, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Decent Raw. Decent, better Raw of the year. So we'll just hope they can keep this up next week, and that's all I'm going to say. And like I said at the beginning, the technical difficulties, they edit that out as soon as it hit the West Coast. I don't know about those that watched it in HD, but they edited out the technical difficulties on the 9 o'clock broadcast. So decent Raw, 8 out of 10, and that's all I'm going to say. Comment down below what you think, and I'll talk to you later.